Very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. Welcome to News Tonight, this Monday, the 16th of August 2021. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with the lady herself, Elizabeth Nakakoni, a sign language interpreter. In a first story this evening, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, retired Major Jessica Alupo, has urged religious leaders from Teso sub-region to be at the forefront of supporting the parish model government program. Alupo said that government appreciates the role religious leaders play in mobilizing communities. She was on spot assessment of government programs in the districts of Soroti and Katakwi, as we see in this report.
The Vice President, retired Major Jessica Alupo, has concluded a 3-day working visit to the districts of Soroti and Katakwi, where she conducted an on-spot assessment of government programs. The Vice President started activities with meeting religious leaders, whom she urged to support government programs in their areas, saying that religious leaders play a cardinal role in mobilizing society and that government appreciates religious contribution to the socio-economic development of the country. She alluded to the government parish development model, which is to be rolled out soon, saying religious leaders will be key in helping and working with the parish leaders in ensuring that the program is implemented transparently to lift Uganda out of poverty.
Here is not to accuse anyone, first not to accuse anyone, but to find a solution together. And I want to appeal to us to look at this issue as an issue which affects us as a region, but also affects us as a country. Because when we produce from here and we are productive from here, our farmers enter a money economy, they impact on the national economy. And we are saying with the parish model which is coming in, we want to move to middle income status.
The leaders, who included Bishop Joseph Ejilu Oliach of the Catholic Diocese of Soroti, Bishop Kosea Achili Odong of the Church of Uganda Diocese of Soroti, Asmano Chen, the Teso Region Kadi, and Teso Pastors and Elders Association, Robert Echeru, pledged to work with government in all programs aimed at improving the living conditions of the people. Alupo also held a meeting with farmers and management of Soroti Fruit Factory to assess the progress of the plant and also iron out issues affecting both productivity of the factory and farmers' efforts in supporting the supply of fruits to the factory.
Is it the storage problem which this factory has? Is it the consumption problem which the factory has? Those are the things I've come to collect in this meeting. Forget about those PowerPoint presentations. Just, I know those answers are in the head. Just tell me those answers quickly. I will put them in the paper, present them to cabinet, and solutions are found for our farmers, the food farmers. So that tomorrow when the RCC goes to the villages, grow more oranges, grow more oranges, grow more mangoes, we can get motivated to grow because we know where we are going to sell them.
She also held a separate meeting with the management of Soroti University, with whom they discussed impediments affecting and derailing the progress of the institution, including land, funding and managerial issues, which she promised to follow up with the relevant stakeholders.
Take keen interest in the girl children, because the girl child is as equally important as the boy child. A girl child can equally excel the way the boy child can excel.
While in Katakwi, the Vice President handed over scholarships to students who excelled at various levels but would otherwise not continue with the studies due to limitations of funding by their families, and urged students to study hard to support their communities in future. She later at Katakwi District Hospital handed over medical equipment, medicines and assorted supplies to the Katakwi District COVID-19 Task Force and District Health Team to support the efforts of fighting COVID-19 and also other related services. The Vice President, who held several other meetings with various groups, also delivered some of the pledges President Yoweri Museveni had made to various areas in Katakwi during his last visit to the district. Abiona Francisco, UBC News.
Women activists have applauded the Constitutional Court ruling that nullified the Anti-Pornography Act of 2014, commonly known as the Miniskirt Law. In the judgment, court based on the sections 2, 11, 13 and 15 that were perceived to be an infringement on people's human rights and discriminatory in nature. The Constitutional Court passed judgment last Friday.
The judgment of the Constitutional Court, especially because it nullifies section of the Anti-pornography Act, which violates women's rights to dignity and bodily autonomy.
In 2014, a proposed enactment titled Anti-pornography Act, holding other factors constant, the proposed piece outlawed wearing clothes by women commonly referred to as mini clothes or see-me-through.
The judgment clearly questions what the objective of the Anti-pornography Act really was.
The anti-pornography law, among others, covered a range of issues including child pornography, pornographic publications, and suggestive music videos. The pro-law activists from civil society groups and human rights activists sought legal action in the Constitutional Court, challenging what they termed as abusive and violation of human rights law.
What do you mean by an indecent show? To what extent can a person's dress code or appearance be sexually attractive or sexually enticing?
Some of the controversial sections were Section 11 and 15, whose justification seemed to be against the right to liberty, privacy, freedom of expression, which has since been nullified by the Constitutional Court. The court also found Section 2 and 13 that criminalized the conduct of indecent show too broad for justification and against human rights. It's worth recalling that after the enactment of this law, several women wearing revealing clothes were undressed in the streets by ruthless men who had misinterpreted the law.
Even the public incidents of being undressed, they continue to suffer the effects of this law in terms of being subjected to criminal arrests. You find that the law enforcement officers may not prefer that charge, but then they resort to other charges, although they did the arrest under the auspices of this particular law.
The judgment was issued on Friday by the Constitutional Court in Center for Domestic Violence Prevention, Women's Network for Human Rights Advocacy, and 7 others versus Attorney General. President Museveni ascended to the anti-pornography bill into law in 2014. Susan Nawonga reporting for EBC TV.
Security forces have responded to the presidential address on human rights violations. The UPDF has promised to check its strong-hand approach towards the public with warning over confronting the armed forces. We'll have that story later on, but moving on, hearing of electoral petitions have commenced in Mbale High Court with heightened security beefed around the court premises. However, journalists were not allowed to attend the proceedings. The road heading to the High Court was also sealed off to avoid traffic jam, as our reporter tells in this story.
Bishop Masaba Road was closed for some time to all vehicles. According to the traffic route chart, vehicles were to be diverted to Hull Road and Sports Club. At the High Court, 6 cases were scheduled to be attended to. These were James Walswaka versus Geoffrey Mutiwa and 2 others, Joshua Kasibo Omayende versus Arthur Wako Mboisi and others, Mafabi Aisha Nabulo versus Flores Wamala Nambozo. Others are Wanyoto Lydia Mutende versus the Electoral Commission, Nyakecho Anet versus Electoral Commission, and Ochua David versus Ogwari Polycarp. However, during the fixing of the hearing date for the petition of Wanyoto Lydia versus the Electoral Commission, all journalists and security officers present were told to exit the courtroom. According to sources in the courtroom, Judge Andrew Byabashisha ordered only the petitioner, Lydia Wanyoto, and her lawyers, and the lawyers for the respondents to be in the courtroom. Lydia Wanyoto was represented by 3 legal firms, Nangulo, Mugonda, and company advocates, Springs and Company advocates, and Mugabe, Shaka and Company advocates, while the respondent team included Electoral Commission, Dagira and Company advocates, Mutembule and Company advocates, and Lukwago and Company advocates. Speaking in an interview, Medad Segona said, "We are surprised that the petitioner, Lydia Wanyoto, through her lawyers, prayed to amend the petition, an issue the court allowed, and they were served with a new petition." Segona said they are going to study it and report back on Monday next week with the response.
Well, the petitioner wants to amend her pleadings. She has, I don't know if she has made new discoveries, and has applied to court to give her time to once serve us with the application for amendment. And we have agreed to court to come back on Monday and urge the application for amendment.
However, Wanyoto's lawyers said they have not abandoned the first petition, but have come up with specific areas that will lead to the nullification of the problematic areas, leading to the declaration of their client the winner of the election.
To specifically address real areas, the grounds are being maintained, the evidence is being maintained. We are just specifying where exactly and how exactly we want the court to appreciate the anomalies and their effect.
However, Connie Galwango said it was not fair the court to block the media from covering court proceedings. She said this is the only way the public can be able to follow what is happening in court.
I first of all don't know what the new accusations are. We are yet to know why they have abandoned the old petition and have switched to a new petition.
In a related development, High Court in Iganga also commenced electoral petition hearings rising from the just concluded elections. The first case to be heard was the contestation of electoral results from Bukoli South constituency in the Mayingo district that was filed by former MP Stephen Mayende Dede against elected MP Abdu Adidawa. The hearing of the case was presided over by Judge Geoffrey Namundi, a senior residential judge from Mbale High Court.
The progress of Kabale Hoima International Airport runway is currently at 95%. According to the contractor SBC, the works are moving steadily well and according to plan. The airport will start and support the downstream phase of oil and gas operations in addition to handling local and international travelers.
The heavy sound of machines can be heard from kilometers away as construction works at Kabale Hoima International Airport progresses. With a runway of about 3.1 kilometers, Uganda's second international airport will handle large cargo and passenger aircrafts.
The runway, as you have seen, is almost 95% complete. We are now on the cargo terminal building. You can see the structures are up. The air rescue firefighting station is also under construction. You would see the apron is also under construction. So generally, the site progress, the percentage is around 66.5% site progress.
The Minister of Energy and Mineral Development led government delegation and toured the facility. As the country strives to achieve its 2025 oil production target, building public-private sector synergies is emphasized.
We are carrying the baby, which we have to deliver alive on the delivery date, expected delivery date. No miscarriage, no stillbirth.
A plan for laying a fiber optic cable on the crude oil pipeline route was mooted.
Our idea was to get a fiber optic starting from here all the way to Tanga, and we connect to CECOM, the global, the one that goes all around Africa, that provides all internet. We have one connection right now through Kenya.
That's a good idea.
We want one through Tanzania.
We have to put it on paper and then send it to where it is supposed to go.
Yeah. Relatedly, the clearance of the ground for the construction of the Total Energies Tilenga Central Processing Facility in Bulisa District has commenced.
And some of the most important things that government looks at before clearing these contracts is national content. If a contract is $1 billion, government is interested to know how much of this is actually going into the Ugandan economy.
When complete, the CPF will process 190,000 barrels of oil from 700,000 barrels of Total liquid per day. The central processing facility is on 2,400 acres of land. From the central processing facilities, stabilized crude oil will be pumped to the refinery through a network of transmission pipelines. Dennis Sigor and Juman Samba for UBC News.
And at that point, we'll take a very short break. Do not miss what we have on return. It's UBC News Tonight.
When John and Mary were 6 years old, they were introduced to savings by their parents and class teacher. They set dreams inspired by their saving clubs at school.
I'm saving for a ball. I'm saving for a school bag.
As time passed by, the set dreams were achieved, and they were further motivated to set fresh, bigger and better dreams, all of which came to pass.
I'm currently saving to buy a bicycle.
I'm now saving for an academic tour.
Dear parents, guardians and teachers, it is our duty to empower our children and people around us to make reasonable monetary choices and introducing a lifelong money-saving culture. Now is the time to start saving for our dreams and a much better tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the German Corporation, German Sparkassen Stiftung Eastern Africa, and Uganda Cooperative Savings and Credit Union.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now you can withdraw mobile money at the lowest rates. You also get MTN Senchu points when you deposit, send and withdraw MTN mobile money. Visit our Momo agents countrywide and withdraw mobile money at our reduced rates from 1st May 2021. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Echa COVID-19 chijja kugwa only if we stay at home, observe physical distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly, or get vaccinated now.
He's Joshua Cheptegei of Uganda. This is superb running.
I've shared my story with the world, with you, but you've only seen the half of it. Because to truly know and appreciate my story, you will have to see it for yourself. My home, my Uganda. From the breathtaking waterfalls of the Nile to every beautiful sunrise and sunset. From the amazing blankets of green to the priceless treasures that lie within. Along the way, I have made some unusual friends. The world-famous silverbacks. When I see them, I behold Uganda's treasures. So yes, you see me and celebrate Uganda. I assure you, there is a lot more in store. I have lived here for years, but even I am yet to see its full glory. Join me. Let's take on the Pearl of Africa together.
Airtel Uganda has the best and most affordable rates when it comes to withdrawing and
sending money. Withdraw money for as low as 330 shillings up to a maximum of 12,500 shillings. Sending money is just as affordable as ever. Absolutely unbeatable. Use Airtel Money on the most affordable network with the largest network of Airtel Money branches in Uganda. Dial *185# to get started. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.
Experience 100% 4G speeds across Uganda with the Airtel 4G Pocket Wi-Fi available at 123,000 shillings only. It comes with a backup battery and 15 GB free for 1 month. Visit the nearest Airtel shop, device selling shop or Airtel online shop. www.airtel.co.ug/broadband-discover. Airtel, the smartphone network.
You'll be seeing news tonight. Welcome back from the break and thank you so much for keeping it with us. The members, I beg your pardon, Minister for Security and MP for Rujumbura County, Major General Jim Muhwezi, has appealed to the people of Rukunjiri to invest in Emyooga money in starting small businesses. While the LC5 Rukunjiri District Geoffrey Chomukama called on the beneficiaries of the Emyooga funds not to take the funds as an appreciation for voting the ruling NRM government in just concluded polls of 2021.
Following the demand by the Abdu Katuntu-led Committee of Parliament that the government submits a detailed list of beneficiaries of the 77.7 billion allocated to Uganda Microfinance Support Center, Emyooga, 260 billion, Youth Fund, 130 billion, and Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program, 29.5 billion. The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, 2 weeks ago, accorded the 529 lawmakers a week-long recess and directed them to investigate the specific irregularities in the Emyooga funds disbursement exercise following reports of lack of transparency among technocrats that superintended over the process of disbursing the said funds that they were supposed to be managed by Microfinance Support Center and coordinated by Ministry of Finance. In Rukunjiri District, MPs have been scrutinizing the disbursement of the Emyooga funds. Security Minister and MP for Rujumbura County, Major General Jim Muhwezi, interfaced with leaders to establish whether the resources trickled down to the intended beneficiaries. The funds in Rukunjiri are at 85% recovery.
So icyo ni ikintu kikuru munonga okureba ngu program ya President Museveni y'Emyooga abantu bagikwasere bagikunda kandi twashanga ngo hariyo abantu ebibina rukaga magana mukaga ibitakatungire nabyo hati miliyoni bishaka okutunga.
Many small and medium enterprises, women and youth have benefited from Emyooga program. Major General Jim Muhwezi appeals to leaders to create awareness on Emyooga funds.
Parish board izi sente ziturukuza kureta tuta umumiruka izo kuhinga no kurisa nyenda ngo abantu bagejumberemu bagitemwa amani kuko bagatire omuyemyooga rero kirete entunguka aho nabo.
Rukunjiri LC5 chairperson Godfrey Chomukama told the beneficiaries not to treat the Emyooga funds as a token of appreciation for voting the ruling NRM government.
So that people come to know that it is the loan which they are using, and after some time they have to pay back.
Emyooga program was launched in July 2020 as a government program targeting all Ugandans. Mutonyi Hilda, UBC.
Members of Kampala Central Emyooga Beneficiary Circle have hailed government for introducing the fund. The circle is among the successful associations which were contained in the last presidential address as one of the key beneficiaries of the 30 million packages.
Ever since the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, sent MPs for a 2-week assessment of the progress of the Emyooga Fund, many beneficiaries have cried foul. During the recent address by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, he noted out some projects that have registered tremendous progress.
The circle received seed capital of Uganda 30 million from the Microfinance Support Center and has mobilized savings of 32 million. To date, a total of 62 million has been disbursed, has been paid out to all the 14 associations.
Among the successful beneficiaries is Kampala Central Emyooga Beneficiaries Circle, whose largest membership is drawn from peoples with disabilities in Kampala.
We called all the associations that were involved. Said, now look, the money has come. For those who have been thinking it's a different thing, the money is real. And here is the statement. Here is your money. Now, let's get organized and start working. Many felt it was a joke, yet it was a fact. Now, when we called them as associations, we trained them again.
With over 150 members, 10 associations and a seed capital of 30 million given to the cooperative 4 months ago, members are continuing to register success.
Loan applications ziriawo nyingi naye nga twakawaka abantu 37 katugenda mwana naye nga sente tolabanga zezitakola ki zezitamala naye nga abantu basevinga.
The circle chairperson Zawede Harriet attributes the success to teamwork. The association is now supplementing its savings with commercial bookmaking.
Twasalawo ne tugamba katandikewo project y'ebitabo. Twatandika okukola ebitabo. Ebitabo ebyo naye byanga bituyambako lwakubanga era tukyalinamu okusoomoozebwa nti nno abantu amasomero tegannatandika kola ki tebannagaggulawo olwa COVID.
Members of Parliament equally hailed government for the project but attribute its limited impact on bad timing.
First of all, the money was rolled out in a political season. It is politically motivated, and even the beneficiaries are politically selected. The people running the program are all politicians.
For instance, in Busia, the people got Emyooga money on account in December, but up to now, that money has been put on a demo account. It cannot be withdrawn.
Today in history.
Idi Amin Dada was a Ugandan military officer who served as the president of Uganda from 1971 to 1979. He was born in Koboko to a Kakwa father and a Lugbar mother in 1946. In 1975, Amin became the chairman of the OAU, a pan-Africanist group designed to promote solidarity among African states. Idi Amin went into exile, first in Libya, then Iraq, and finally in Saudi Arabia, where he lived until his death on 16th August 2003. His death was today in history.
That is all we had for you at this point. We'll get back at 10 p.m. with a bigger arrangement. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Jordan Lukumwa with Elizabeth Nakakoni and the whole team. We'll leave you with Juliet Alitubeira here, who has the weather focus report.
Hello there, welcome to the weather report. I'm Alitubeira Juliet. The weather is really amazing. Most times we talk of isolated showers. This means that it could rain in Kampala, but you find that in Kawempe it's really wet and areas in Bwaise are totally dry. These are isolated showers. So for today morning we had sun intervals for most parts of the country, apart from a few areas in the islands where we had showers. And in the afternoon we had these isolated showers dominate some parts of our country. From the rainfall report received by 9 a.m. this morning, it indicates Tororo with 15.7 millimeters, Gulu 10.8 millimeters, whereas Masindi received 4.6 millimeters. And from the satellite image, it indicates that the rain belt is diffuse and contributing to these isolated showers we have talked about. And you find that we have southeasterlies coming in, pushing in moist winds, also contributing to this same type of weather. For tomorrow morning, we're expecting light rains for some parts near Masindi. Elsewhere, we shall have sunny intervals. In the afternoon, we expect a pickup of isolated showers, ones we've talked about, in some parts across the country. Also, sunny intervals will dominate in the central, the northern, and the eastern. For temperatures will rise to 29 degrees centigrade for the Karamoja region together with Kasese areas. Around Lake Victoria Basin, we expect 28 degrees centigrade, and for Kabale Islands, a maximum of 23 is expected. Elsewhere on the globe, we are expecting Dubai and Johannesburg to have sunny conditions. Hong Kong, sunny intervals are expected. For New York and Berlin, we expect light rains at a maximum of 18 degrees centigrade for Berlin. Thank you for keeping me company. Join us tomorrow same time for another edition. Have a good night.
Echa COVID-19 chijja kugwa only if we stay at home, observe physical distancing, wear masks properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly, or get vaccinated now.